Welcome again. Today I'm going to be working on another hand-painted book cover for a handmade junk journal. And first I'll share with the colors I've picked. And I decided to use this cheapo plate because I think it's going to be easier for me to clean. So, white, of course, Prussian blue as my dark, and two shades of green that I have not put out here yet. They are Hookers and Brilliant Yellow Green. And then we have some bright aqua, medium magenta, cadmium yellow light, brilliant purple, a little cerulean, and those now can wait over here. I imagine I'll be coming back to white quite often. Alrighty, this, since I've decided that I'm going to be making some journals, because my first ones did so well on my Etsy shop, I thought I would do again, but this time I've decided to have a little bit of a plan. I have the same craft paper, but I invested in a piece of board at Hobby Lobby and had asked my husband to cut it, and he was sweet enough to do that. So now I have 4 boards, all at the same state of readiness. Put down my paper with some light tack tape, and then it has a coat of white gesso applied thinly with a card. That was the first coat. The second coat was a color. I believe I did one of the boards in yellow, one of them in pink, one of them in aqua, and I think one of them in, yes, and one of them in mauve. Then this that you see here is the third layer of paint, in which I wanted to put on my background, and I had great fun. I played the music, and I was standing up and letting my feet twinkle under my table, and this is the first one. I've been using my Stabilo All to do some sketching, just putting some ideas about where I might want things to be. And now I'm thinking that I'm going to be doing some leaves, putting them on, just an idea of where they will be. That doesn't mean they're going to be here. And of course, again, if I don't like them, I can disappear them, because I can just wipe this Stabilo All pen right off. So I'm just adding some leaves here and there, and maybe smaller ones here, although, as I said, these things can change. And maybe something down into this space. And around to this one. Well, alrighty. That's, I've got a thinking place, a starting place. I know I'm going to have one large flower here, a couple of small ones, a set of 3, and 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, for over there on the back. This is going to the top, the bottom, and the front cover section. Okay. When in doubt, let's plunge in. And believe it or not, I think I'm going to plunge in with some greens. And I'm going to, oh my goodness, looks like an illness. I'm going to set the greens over here by the white. And let's see where we are here now. Let me water up a little bit. And mix up a little bit. And as soon as some color starts hitting this page, everything is all systems go over here then. Now, noticing the way the Stabilo all is going to include itself in here, and that's just fine. We don't worry about things like that. Because this is hardly the first coat. And essentially, the Stabilo all thinks I've added water. Something, something. I was out this morning and I hit two of my local antique malls because they were kind of close to where I have my Friday Starbucks chai, and I was in one. I was able to find an absolutely delicious book that I'm going to, the front cover was falling off, and but the book itself is absolutely delightful, so it's going to find itself becoming the cover and main pages of a journal. And I also found, which I hardly ever find in Jacksonville, someone had a little plastic bag full of bits of interesting looking lace. Well, be still my heart on that one. And then I went across the street and I found a booth there that the woman sells linens, and she had some beautifully done up collectible hankies, and they were just beautiful. And I thought, oh, in my new world, can I just see these in a journal? So I treated myself to 3 of them, and I thought, well, if I don't use all of them, I can share a part of them. If I use a quarter or half, I still have the other bit, and so that was fun. And then the stop for my chai, and home I came, because this has been preying on my mind. I've been wanting to do this. This is so liberating and fun to do. And I just wanted to come home and get to it. So I did. I didn't usually, on Friday mornings, I usually go about, maybe go to home to Tuesday morning or whatever, see what might be going on. But nope. I wanted to come home and play. And this has been niggling at me, and I'm a person who listens to her niggle machine. So, as you can see, doing this is enjoyable. It is not difficult. You just have to, when in doubt, as my girlfriend and I, my BFF, the time we were 14 and 16, had a motto, when in doubt, plunge. And that usually had to do with needlepoint or knitting or crocheting or whatever we were doing when we were teenagers and young girls. We wanted to try something, learn something new. It was always when in doubt, plunge. Okay, now this last bit, and then I think I'm going to not worry about the background. I'm going to throw myself into a first layer on these flower ideas that I have down here. These are my acrylic brushes. These are brushes that really no longer suit me for any other painting that I want to do. So they work very nicely here. Just having, as you can see, just having this little suggestion of whatever it is that I'm doing here down is a start. It becomes real. It becomes something. Oops. This poor brush was the one that was given to me by my watercolor teacher because it was too soft, and I don't know, she just hated it, and she says, I'm going to throw it out. And I said, oh, you want it, Carol? Sure. And yeah, I tried it. She was right. That's why she's a teacher, correct? Yes. It wasn't really, didn't do the trick for watercolor at all. And so it's being put to fine use now. All right. Now some going to start on this one. I'm going to bring it from the outside in and just lay some ideas of petals down in the vicinity that they are showing here. And this is just an old, oh, it smells so nice and clean, and I use it for putting on matte medium. I use it for everything. But it gets a nice soapy wash in the dish in the kitchen after each use, and it's still going on. I probably had this baby for, it's soft enough to put makeup on, for 20 years. A flat wash brush 1 inch, and it's now going to make a little miracle over here for me. It doesn't realize that yet, but it is. All right, let's just stop talking and start painting, Carol. Let's get that brush loaded up. I think we'll just cover this whole area up a little bit here now. Yes, we will. This is just to give me some ideas about what might be happening here. And I'll just rub that Stabilo wall into the color a little bit. Yes, I will. And you can go here and here. Yes, you can. And you right here. I think I'm going to end up darkening this a little bit because of this background color over here, which is the, but this is just, yeah, laying down of some color stage. So I'm not going to think of that yet at all. No, I'm not. And maybe we'll just see about adding some of this purple here and some white. And let's see about getting a second round on here. Why not? Just something. Just something right here. Yeah. It gives us an idea. It certainly does. And what am I going to do now? Let's have a little bit of yellow here. Let's see what we can do now. If we put this right there, and we add some white, lots of white. Ooh, I like that color. Why not? Let's use it. Let's just have it here. Remember, this is just the undercoat thought. And I have no idea what this is going to turn out to look like at the end, of course. That's the fun of this. Just one more. One more that's mostly white. Let's see what happens. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. We needed that. We definitely did. Okay. And some more of that over here. All right. And let's go with our darker color now. Because this is the back cover, will be in my mind. I think. Okay. And let's get this one up here. I'm liking what happens when that yellow works with this. This is nice. But we've got some sort of suggestion of something. Something. Now I want to pop on some centers in the flowers because they seem to help my eyes to focus and my mind to kick into plan mode. And we'll put a little green with that because I want it to be quite dark. Okay, let's have just a little tippy taps here. Just a little tippy taps. Just to say this is where the center of the flower is. And many tippy taps on this monster mash over here. Let's go. And some really dark ones. Let's hit that blue. Okay. And back to green. Well. There we go, a little green. And this one. Well, something seems to be happening all of a sudden. Okie dokie. But this needs a little touch of that yellow-green just on top here and there. Just on top here and there. We'll just plop them in. Yeah, a little bit here and there, maybe on one side on that one. Yes. And tip tap, tip tap, tip tap, tip tap. Now, as I said, this is just to, oops, that's not so gorgeous. Here, let me squish this a little bit more. It's getting a little too soft. Come on. All right. Okay, things are starting to happen now. I like that bit of, I'm liking that bit of dark in the leaves from the Stabilo. All right. Now I have to stand this up to have a, and see where we are. Well, now we get to play in the background. Yes, yes. Well, before I go any further, there's one thing I know that I need. I want to darken this one up. Definitely. There it is. Magenta. Oh no, Quin. Oh, Quin Magenta. Yes. And then I have to walk away for a while. Okay. Then maybe I'll walk away for a while because this background needs some thinking about. Okay, let's see what happens now. Let's get something happening here. Let's get some dark in there. Not enough dark in here. There we go. Let's go. And just a little bit more. And here. Here. And let's go back and make this speak for itself a little bit here now. Come on, Carol, wake up. Okay. And some more. All right. Well, that's just a beginning. That's just what that is. That's just a beginning. Okay, let's not break the house, Carol. That's a little too long. That one needs softening. Okay. And then let's have some of that down here. Let's just take some of that definition away. Okay, now we need some doings up here around the edges, but not too much. Not too much. I want it to look almost as though I put it down with a palette knife. Let's see if we can get some life up here. Of course, this would be a lot easier if I didn't have to think about a wet green center, but such is life. Yeah. I don't want any of this to speak too loudly. And I think I'll do the same up here. And I keep saying that I'm going to stop, don't I? Well, if you try this, you'll find out that it's easier said than done sometimes. Let's lighten this up a little bit. This is a little bit too finished looking. There we go. And calm down the Stabilo pencil a little bit. And then I'm going to have to stop because if I want to do anything else, I'm going to have a major calamity with that, with those centers. Well, yay, yay, yay. It's going to take a little time to do that. And I have one question in my mind that I'm going to attack right now, and then I'm really going to stop. I need some dark up here. Yes, I do. Okay, let's get some dark going here. This definitely needs a bit of rethinking here. Especially this large one. Just a little heft on these lines. Now I'm quite happy with the way this is blending into that background a little bit. This is the focal and in your face, and these, I'm happy the way those are blending into the background a bit. Yes, I am. So, it's going to take quite a while for this to dry because some of this paint is rather thick, especially the centers, and the centers have to be dry in order for me to swoop in again. So, I will return. Well, here I am back. Unexpected company and all of the things that go with life intruded a little bit, but here I am. I'm going to catch you up on what I was able to do as background work before I did the finishing touches. So, as you might remember, this corner kind of blended in to this yellowish background too much. It got lost, and for some reason or another, these did not pop enough to suit me. So, I took some of this bright aqua green, mixed it with just the tiniest bit of water, and used this old Filbert number 10, and I literally applied it and then rubbed it in so that when I got over here I was able to pull it out. I didn't want any hard edges, but I scrubbed it. I literally scrubbed this in here. I then decided that this did the trick and brought these forward, so I hit my cerulean blue and added some water, added some white to this, and did the same thing. I rubbed to get this, to pull these a little bit forward. Then I had another look-see and decided that it needed more greenery. So I put on my stems and used one of my square brushes to apply the rest of the leaves. So first I did the bringing out the flowers here and here. Then I laid on some more greenery, and then I sat back and looked at it a bit and said, you know, this needs some of the Quin magenta added, and I pulled a almost a dry brush up over what was already there, and I calmed down that the white centers of those petals a little bit. Well, that didn't quite suit me, so I decided that I would try bringing out the individual petals. I did that on this large flower with the Prussian blue and just the tiniest little bit of the leftover Hooker's green from doing these smaller leaves. These smaller leaves are a combination of the Prussian and the Hooker's green. So I got my very fine brush and just laid on some outlining, and then I put in some grow marks to give it a little bit of dimensionality and said, okay, mission accomplished there. And why don't I continue? I went back to the Quin magenta that was on my palette and did the same thing again. Let me show you the brush that I used. Here it is, a 00 scroller. I used that magenta around this, and this. Use that also to put in some grow lines, and decided that I would let this gel, and then within half an hour we had company. So this has had a good opportunity to dry and get as flat as this paper is ever going to get before I add the Mod Podge to the top of this to change the quality of the paper, make it look a little bit more leathery, and cut it and make it part of the cover on Ruth's journal. But today, now I'm going to get into the serious embellishing playing. I'm going to use this hot pad from the kitchen that has this wonderful shape, and my StazOn Jet Black, because this needs some this needs a little bit of talking to in the background, and if it overlaps over onto the leaves, that's fine, no problem. So let me show you what that's going to look like. A little tap tap here and a little tap tap there, and we get this effect. Let's have a little there, and here, and here, 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 and so forth. Just to add a little bit of background to this piece. Let me see this. Okay, that's enough of that. Now I'm thinking, I've laid down my handy-dandy Dollar Tree cutting boards. I can't live without them. And I think now that I'm going to want to add some background type stenciling. So I have taken out the white, my lightest lilac, my lightest pink, and a little bit of yellow. And I'm going to see what happens if I just plunk down. I'm thinking that pink might not be pink enough. Let me go up one shade of pink. I don't know which ones I shall use. I love that so much, but it's soft lines. And I'm thinking that the last thing that this piece needs right now is more soft lines. So let me go with hard lines. And I think I'll start out with a little bit of the sweet pea. And see what happens. Some of these are made of different kinds of rubber. And yeah, that's better. Different kinds of rubber. So now, I don't have much of this over here, so I'm going to just maybe pop just a bit of that down up here and see what happens. Oh yes. And some over here. I think we can stand some right in here. And definitely some down here. slightest bit of color. And that's right over that that leaf. That's fine. Why not? Why not have it there? Let's do a little bit more down here. Maybe along in here. Now I'm going to see if I can get this a little bit closer to you so that you can see what's happening there. Just a suggestion of color. Now, particularly here, because of the yellow and purple story on the color wheel. So, I know that I like that now, and that I definitely like the fact that it's hard lines for softness. And I noticed that I had it going this way here, so let's do it this way this time. Why not? What color will be next? I'm going to go with pink because it's safe. Because when I get up to that yellow, it's definitely going to make a yellow statement. So, let's see what we can do here. Ah, yes. Let me back out a little bit for you. This little bit of play at the end here sometimes just is kind of an aha situation. Okay. I need some more of that over here. Yes, we do. I'm going to put a bit of it on there this time. Yes. Why don't we just put that right up here? Because I want to. Let's see what happens. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Let's have it 3 times then. And just a tiny bit more. There we go. Okay, now there is a good bit of yellow asserting itself here, so I'm going to see what happens if I add just a smidge. I think I'm going to cut that sponge off so that's fresh. Because I'm really liking what's happening now to this piece. Oh my. Should I have done yellow lighter? No, because that is light. Let's have a real tiny touch. Let's have a real tiny touch of yellow. Let's see what happens. Oh my. I want some of that in here. And some right up on top of this. Doesn't that bring the sun out? Some in here. Let's sneak around those leaves a bit. And I'm going to play up here. I don't have too much room left. I think I'll just put some right there. And maybe right there. Now I definitely need some up in that corner. It's just a matter of, it's not my favorite word, and goodness knows my mother would have been scandalized, but sometimes you just have to go with your gut. And it's telling me to come over here. Come over here, Carol. The only other thing that I have left is white. And white is going to be very strong. But let's have another close-up and see where we're going here. Alrighty. Let's now, oh boy, I'm thinking, now I'm not going to do that same stencil again. I'm getting a little carried away. I filed that away onto the floor. And a little bit of white. And a little bit of white. Here and there. Oh boy. Yes. Oh yes. And a little bit here. And some up here, definitely. One right on top of the other. Right on top of the other. Yeah, that's a little strong, so let's mop some of that up. All right. Need some white in there. Definitely needing some white in there. Dark, let's add a little bit of, let's hit this with just a little bit of white. And some here. And a little bit more on the four corners. And then a little bit of Just a little bit down here. And just a little bit, just a little hint right here. Oh, hints are good things. Oh yes, that worked well. So the green peeks through. Oh yes, let the green peek through. And last but not least, up here. To have a look. Oh yes, that's a tickle. Now, I'm going to dry a little bit, and then the last round, which is my good old-fashioned Joe Sonja Rich Gold. Alrighty, now this is the stencil that has made the cut, and you'll see it has already been used for this purpose. And I plan to do one. Now this is the vicinity of the front cover. Top, bottom, and front. I'm going to do one here-ish, two here-ish, that's towards the center. I know that definitely. And then we'll have to think about the back. So, this is a rich and wonderful gold. And it will cover beautifully anything that might be living underneath it, which is what I wanted to do. If there's going to be anything popping through, that will be fine, but I don't want it to be too much. Let's see how it's working. Oh yes. And this heavier sponge leaves delightful marks. So, there we go. Now, I just want that to be just a little bit, and coming over past the center probably of the book, that's fine. I don't want it to completely obscure these top flowers. They're pretty. I don't want it to overdo on the focal. So I'm thinking thinking right there. More. And let's go up here. Coming around. Think. Ah, yes. Alrighty. There's two. There are two now. Maybe just one here. Ew. Maybe I will just put one here, and if it's cut off, that's fine. And then I could put one here, and if it's cut off, that would be fine. Okay, now, one here. This is this way, so this is this way, this way. Alrighty, now, sorry about this talking to myself, but let's go over here further. This brings me close to the center, the way that one is. Yes, yes. Let's have a little more paint. The point of this exercise, of course, is to have layers. Not enough yet. I think I only have one left. I think 25 years ago I bought about 4 or 5 of these. And they seem to go forever. But I don't know really what I'm going to do without this absolutely wonderful color. It does everything that I wanted to do, including cover up a multitude of sins. Come on, let's go now. Only one left. You can do this. Right now. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. And now these are further apart, but they have this heavy bulk and focal right here. So these on the back could be closer together because yes, this is where it seems to want to go. Okay. Maybe a little off the page or close to the edge, maybe. Right there. Right there. I do hope that Ruth is happy. With the outcome of this cover, because I'm leaving her free to make additions to the journal. I hadn't planned on this piece being on Ruth's journal. I had planned on another one, but for some reason this just seems to be calling me for her book. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Let me look. This is what I had been planning, because it is very blue. But for some reason, I don't know. This is going to be a dilemma. This one or this one. Maybe this one is calling for a little bit more of Jo Sonja's. I shall have to give this a good think. So, here we are, a hand-painted journal cover, one of 4. I don't know what decision I'll finally make as far as Ruth's journal is concerned, but I do hope you've enjoyed the experiment and will join me for the other 3. If you have enjoyed, please leave a thumbs up, a comment, share with a friend, and I would appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel. The layers that I did today with you really and truly did make me happy with this cover. And yet, they are here, but they're pushed back. Oh, do let me know what you think in the comments. Bye now.